Hello, and welcome to another week of Get Booked. I'm Sam.
I'm Jennifer.
And we're super awkward today. Today we're going to talk about...
Every day,
right? And today we are talking about our two bingo squares. So we have one from our thriller sheet and then one from our graphic sheet. We're going to start with, we said we're going to start with thriller. So today we are doing Haunted, which is right here next to that free space. Very exciting. I know. And Jennifer does not like these ones, right?
No. So my first pick came from Alexis, to be quite honest. This is Home Before Dark. This is Riley Sager. This is a book I would never read in a million years, but Alexis told me it was really good. So here's what it's about. 25 years ago, Maggie Holt and her family lived in a house called Branbury Hill, which was in a small Vermont town. They moved in on June 26th, and in the dead of night, on June 15th, they left the house. So it was 20 days they were in the house. Then her father wrote this best-selling book based on their time at the house. It became like this huge wide phenomenon, and the people in the town were not really happy about it. And then her father dies and leaves her the house, and she has to go back and try to like renovate it to sell it because there's no way she's going to stay there. And she starts to wonder if maybe the things in her father's book were more based on fact than actual fiction, and yikes.
They all start to come together.
Not when you read at night, but by that time I mean anytime after dark. That's just me. I cannot read books that are creepy after dark.
Yeah, this is one of those as well. So the Sundown Motel, by Simone St. James, introduces us to a mysterious and possible haunted motel. Obviously, that's the theme, so obviously haunted. So Carly has never been able to let go of the story of her Aunt Viv, who took a job as the night clerk at the Sundown Motel 30 years ago, because Aunt Viv disappeared during this job. Told over the course of 2 timelines, so we get Carly and Viv. They take the same job that led to Viv's disappearance. Determined to find out what happened, Carly soon finds herself in the same mysteries that ensnared her aunt. This one will chill you to the bone. And also, do not read it after dark unless you're super, super brave. And I've also heard that the audiobook is like super creepy, so like don't even go near it if you're a little bit scared.
Good tip.
Yeah,
good
not
tip.
For me.
All right, so my next one is very much lighter. This one I have read. This is a cozy. It's from Krista Davis. Sorry, there's little schmutz on that. And it's called The Diva Haunts the House. So this is number 5 in the series. Sophie Winston. Can't talk. Sophie Winston is a domestic diva, and she has a group of friends, and which include her ex-husband, which is kind of odd but fun at the same time. And her kind of frenemy is throwing a Halloween party, and of course in the Halloween display someone is dead. The cause of death does not seem to be really known, but there are 2 puncture marks, on the neck. So people are like, could there be a vampire around? Is this place haunted? And then a bunch of creepy things happen with like dolls, and her friends are like, nope, we're out. And they start wearing like garlic necklaces. It's great. It's great. So this is there are some spooky elements to it, but if you're looking for a much lighter, spooky Halloween read, this is it.
That one's for me then, yeah.
Yes, me too.
So my second one is The Invited by Jennifer McMahon. It is a Okay, so let's talk about this cover real quick.
Creepy.
Like, I feel like there's nothing in the window, but I feel like there could have been like something super, super darkened in the window. Like, you know what I mean? It's a spooky ghost story. There's this couple, Helen and Nate, and they decide that they are leaving traditional suburbia. And they're going to go build a new home on over 40 acres of rural land. 40 acres is a lot of land, right? Like, so Helen is a former history teacher. She becomes obsessed with the story of Hattie Breckenridge, who is a woman who almost a century ago lived and died on the property. As Helen dives deeper into Hattie's story, we find that there are 3 generations of women after Hattie that die suspiciously on the property. What? So this is the story of a couple who moved to rural Vermont, and instead of moving into a haunted house, they build one on haunted ground. I know. Like, I've always thought that I might want to move to Vermont, and I'm like, yeah, do I want to do that? What dangers could come from this fresh start for Helen and Nate? I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds creepy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Generations of ladies dying.
There's something going on there.
Right? All right, what are we talking about next?
All right, graphic novels. Look at our fun bingo sheet made by Val. All right, it's gonna take me a minute to find. You're much more better at finding these. Oh, it's in the middle. Excellent artwork.
Awesome.
All right, so I cheated. We had talked about this, and Sam was like, "Oh yeah, we could choose books we haven't talked about before," and I totally cheated and did not.
Oh my god.
So yeah.
So Jennifer has 3 today, and I only have 2.
Oh yeah. Also, I did that too. I'm the worst. Sorry, Sam. All right. So we've talked about Heartstopper. This is volume 2. It's about 2 boys. They are in England. They both are rugby players, although one is kind of brought onto the rugby team. So they start out as friends, they turn into something a little bit more, and I really just liked the art because it is kind of black and white with this green pop, and I think that the I like this one because it's like a math equation and you could totally read the math equation. It was fun. I like the way the ones that do this where you have just a little bit of color and it just makes the book pop a bit more. And then I picked this spread because it's just really sweet. They're both just listening to music by the ocean and it's just really fun. Really fun.
Okay.
What art did you pick?
I know. Right?
Wait, sorry. This was Alice Oseman. I don't think I said that. Sorry.
Got you. So this is The Prince and the Dressmaker by Jen Wang. It is an outrageously gorgeous story of Francis the Dressmaker and Sebastian the Prince. A story of friendship, a secret life, and being true to yourself. I don't really want to talk about it because I want you to read it and cry. Like, I cried like a baby. I fell in love with this book, and Jennifer and I were talking about this. We both want a second one, but we don't think it's going to happen. But I will show you all these gorgeous, it's like super bright and not normally what I would go for a graphic, to be honest, because of how bright all the colors are and everything. There's just a lot happening. I really, really like how the author illustrator, Jen, did all these different pieces, and you can tell when something is in a different setting, like so easily for this one. And then I really like the rouge on the cheeks, which you can see here. I know.
I like the
fashion.
I
I think it's rouge. I think it's, yeah. Look at how awesome this dark scene looks. You can just tell the world's closing and it's dark and doors shut. And then I really, really like it when this happens at the end of graphics. They've got the process at the end here. So this is like the first iteration of the book. This is how Jen Wang started. And then we get to those beautiful colored illustrations afterwards. And it's just so cool. I love that.
I like seeing that too.
Yeah.
So we talked about this one a little bit ago. Go with the flow. This is a period story about three girls who rescue a new girl in school who has had a period mishap. And so it's a story of their friendship and also about why no one talks about periods, and the school was supposed to have period menstruation packets in the restrooms and they didn't, and so there's kind of a fight with the school and the administration. So this one is kind of similar to the Heartstopper, where it's kind of the same color, red, which again, period, which is great. Sorry, the illustrator is Karen Schneemann. And I love this one because it was so cozy, where you just are sitting in bed and you're drawing and you're coming up with a great plan. And I was like, oh, that just spoke to me a lot. I like those kind of moments. And then this one I really liked because they were at an art show for one of their friends and they were like, wow, we knew she was talented, but we didn't know she was this talented. And it's a picture of them, like the four of them, and the three of them are looking at it, and I just thought it was cool too. This one at the end has snapshots of like just the characters, which is fun. A little bit of extra.
All right, I've got Page by Paige by Laura Lee Gulledge. I hope I said that right. I don't know. It's about a girl named Paige whose family moves from Virginia to New York City, which is a huge change, right? For like any kid, any person, I guess, really. So everyone around her sees a quiet redhead who draws things. At first, the only thing keeping Paige company is her notebook, where she pours her worries and her observations and even her secret identity known as artist. You know, she's super artistic, which we'll see in a second. Through her notebook, we see her expand off the pages and gain the confidence she probably knew she already had deep down somewhere all along. I hope. So these are insane, and it's all black and white. And so, like, I mean, that's like a whole black page. Like, it's crazy. Most of this book is really, really cool because you can actually, I feel like I'm going to get pencil, like graphite, like on my hand just from reading it.
Wow.
And so the shading is just so gorgeous and done really well that it legitimately looks like it's done in pencil right now on this. And I have the one copy ever written. I love this. The flower growing.
That's cool.
How many more do I have? I have a few more. Kind of like mixed media art, this page. Like,
that's neat.
I'm obsessed. And I just really liked this image. So, page by page.
Cool.
What's your last one, Jennifer?
My last one is Gem and the Holograms. And the art is from Sophie Campbell. So I vaguely remember as a kid, like there was the cartoon Gem and the Holograms. And so I was like really interested to read this because I was like, oh, this is going to be really fun. And it was. And I love like just the expressions on their faces. So Gem and the Holograms they're a band. But it's like a magical band, so like this is what they're singing, but they don't always look like that. They're more like this, and then they take the stage, and it's like a whole stage persona, which is kind of cool. So you have like this like kind of more mellow art look. Then you get the Gem look, and the colors are a lot brighter, and there's more fluorescent, and it kind of pops a little bit more. And this one is just, in the back they have like some character sketches, and this is just one of my favorite characters, Stormer. And
Heights. Love it.
It's just a lot of fun. So you kind of have a mix of like the muted with like the more 80s colors with the neon and stuff. It's a lot of fun. So this is a trilogy. Well, they were really fun to read. I quite enjoyed them.
That's it for today, right? Oh my goodness.
That is it. We have one more week of thrillers and graphics, and then we'll have a new sheet in November. Is it November already?
Yeah, it's November. What happened to this year?
I don't know.
I know. So everyone have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next Friday.
Sounds good. Bye, everybody.